Hello everyone and welcome to the WCG for match 11 of the 2022 TexBet Australia Day T20 Big Bash, which sees a winner-takes-all clash to round us off in Group C as the Saggy Greens take on taking over, with second spot and a ticket to the quarterfinals up for grabs. Saggy Greens were hammered in their opening fixture against the tabletop and Puffin Billy's, and for taking over they put up a bit more of a fight against the Billy's, but were ultimately beaten in a brave showing. So as we take a look at Group C as it stands at the moment, it is the Puffin Billy's sitting top of the pile, and that is exactly where they will finish after their perfect record here in this group. And it's currently taking over who sit in second spot by virtue of wickets taken, but that'll mean nothing for the winner today, who will qualify in second spot. The captains are in the middle and ready for the toss. Winner takes all clash. Taking over, so it's the Saggy Greens winner goes through in second place. Lowest ranked. Here's the call. It is a flat. So Saggy Green skipper Tom Doyle wins his second toss of the tournament, and for the second time in the tournament, he elects to bowl first. As we take a look at his side for this all-important crunch contest, it was a disappointing showing by all three members of the Saggy Greens lineup in their first up humiliations at the hands of the Puffin Billy's. They failed to take a wicket, and they were nowhere near where they need to be with the bat, and they'll need an improved showing in this one. And as we take a look at taking over's lineup for this do-or-die clash, they looked impressive against the Billy's, albeit in a losing effort. TJ English at the top of the order was impressive in particular. After getting them off to a good start, they did fall away at the back end of the innings. However, all three showed that they were competent with the ball, and they will be a stern test for the Saggy Greens in this do-or-die clash. And just before we get underway, we'd like to thank our major partner for this year's tournament, TexBet, who have been fantastic since jumping on board. Bet local, bet with Tex. Win, you are through. Lose, you are out. It's the Saggy Greens taking on taking over. Let's get it on. And there's a change to the top of the order here in this contest, as Aaron Gardner will open up this time for taking over. He was dismissed for one in his side's opening match of the tournament against the Billy's. Can he get him off to the start they need? So we're all ready to go in this do-or-die clash to round us off in Group C. It'll be Troy Hayden to get us underway with the ball around the wicket. Here he's in now, and he begins with a good delivery, and Gardner plays his back down the pitch, and it's fielded by Hayden off his own bowling for no run. So a good start there for the Greens with the ball, as Hayden is in once again to Gardner. This is a full delivery which goes through to the keeper, I think. Yeah, it has. There's a slight appeal here from the Saggy Green skipper. Here, Gardner makes his way down the pitch, but he'll have to go back. So a pretty handy start with the ball so far here from Troy Hayden. 2 dots to begin this do-or-die clash here in Group C. Both of these sides succumbing to the Puffin Billy's in their opening fixtures. So a win here will see them qualify for the quarterfinals. Here's Hayden, who's in once again to Gardner. This one's played away on the leg side for the opening boundary of the contest. It beats Tom Doyle there at mid-wicket as Gardner opens his account in this do-or-die clash. No wicket for 4. Hayden to continue to Gardner in the opening over of the contest. Here he's in now. This one's a full toss, and it's hammered away on the leg side once again. This time for a maximum. So Hayden, after starting the contest with 2 dots, has now gone 4 and 6 with his last 2 deliveries. 10 without loss. So Gardner off to a fly here in match 11. As Hayden is in once again, it's a long ball here from Hayden, and it's hammered to the boundary once again for another maximum. 16 coming off the first over. Gardner races to 16. 16 without loss. So it's going to be the skipper, Tom Doyle, to bowl the second over of the innings. As in now around the wicket to Gardner, begins with a full toss, and Gardner gets a thick inside edge and moves through for a single, as he gets through quickly to add another one to the total. Good busy cricket here from Gardner. He'll be disappointed he didn't get that away to the boundary, but he moves through for a single nonetheless. Dropped his bat on the way through, but he was home safely. Doyle to continue to Gardner around the wicket here in the second over. Here he's in now, and he pushes this one down the leg side, so that one will have to be re-bowled. So a good start here for taking over in this do-or-die clash. 18 without loss in the second over. The Saggy Greens proving expensive with the ball once again, as Doyle is into Gardner once again. He plays his way on the leg side, but that's well stopped by Reece de Boer at mid-wicket, who stops a certain boundary. Yeah, that's a good stop from the so-so punch front man. Doy to continue to Gardner around the wicket. Here he's in now. This one's a good delivery. It stays a little low, and it's a swing and a miss here from Gardner. So back-to-back dots here for Tom Doy and the Saggy Greens. Here's just what the doctor ordered at this stage of the innings. Taking over 18 without loss here in the second, and they'll be wanting to post a decent total, particularly with Tom Doy as their opponent. Here's Doy is in once again to Gardner. As a slight appeal here from the Saggy Greens fieldsman, and it's been given not out here by the umpire, and it hasn't been called a wide, so it must have brushed his thigh on the way through. So we arrive at the final ball of the second over. It's Doy to Gardner, and Gardner gets a thick inside edge onto the fence, and will move through for a single to end with. 19 without loss. So you'd have to say to be taking over who'd be the happier of the two sides with where things stand at the 2 over mark. They are 19 without loss with Gardner at the crease, 18, and the Saggy Greens need a wicket. And it's going to be Reece de Burr who will bowl the third over of the innings. As in now round the wicket here to Gardner. This one goes straight up in the air, but it lands safely. So things just going the Fluoro's way at the moment. It's a good delivery which hurries Gardner up. Gardner gets right underneath it and gets a top edge, but it lands safely, thankfully, from his point of view. De Burr to continue to Gardner in the third over of the innings. He's in now over the wicket. This one's a full delivery. He's knocked him over. So that's a much-needed wicket here for the Saggy Greens as they remove the dangerous Gardner for 18, who was looking good at the crease. It's a full delivery on the money as Gardner advances, who ends up yorking himself in the end. Gardner gone for 18, taking over 1 for 19. So that wicket will now bring the skipper Michael Mabry to the crease here at number 2. He was also dismissed for just 1 in their opening match defeat to the Puffin Billies. Can he kick on from this impressive start and get them up to a good total? So it'll be Reece de Burr who has his tail up to bowl to Michael Mabry for his first delivery. Here he's in now. This one's a good delivery on a good length, and it's played back down the pitch by Michael Mabry for no run. So good this from the Saggy Greens, who have just pegged this back nicely in the last over or so. As de Burr is in once again to Mabry, and he has a wild slash outside the off stump, and it's a swing and a miss here from the taking over skipper. So just 3 runs have come off the last 9 deliveries here for taking over. And it's been a brilliant fight back with the ball after the first over went for 16. As de Burr is in for the final delivery of the over, and this one's moving towards the boundary, but it's well fielded there by Troy Hayden, who normally only moves that quick to the barbecue to get some luck man to him, but he moves swiftly, does the big man. 1 for 20 with 1 to go. And it is going to be the big man Troy Hayden to bowl the final over of this innings. Here he's in now to Mabry, and he begins with a full toss, and it's played down the ground to begin the final over with a maximum. So Hayden under pressure here from ball 1. Mabry moves to 7. It's 1 for 26. Hayden to continue to Mabry in the final over. Here he's in now, and this one slides down the leg side. So that'll be an extra added to the total, and that'll have to be re-bowled. So 1 for 27 now taking over. Can Mabry push his side beyond that 30 mark? As Hayden is in once again to him now, and this one's a horrible delivery. It's a headhunt here from Hayden, so that one will also have to be re-bowled. Well, Mabry won't have to do anything with bowling like that. Hayden under pressure here in this final over. As he continues to, Mabry serves up another full toss, and he's under more pressure now as this one goes for another maximum. Here the skipper standing up for the Fluoros in this final over. He moves to 13. It's 1 for 34. Here Hayden has gone the journey here in match 11. As he's in once again to Mabry, serves up another full toss, and Mabry hammers it down the ground for another boundary. Hayden has gone for 34 himself here in match 11. There's still 2 deliveries left here in the innings. Mabry moves along to 17. It's 1 for 38. Here, well, the Saggy Greens are going to have to produce one of their famous run chasers if they're going to qualify for the quarterfinals. As Hayden's in once again to Mabry, and this one's a better delivery outside the off stump, and it's a wild slash from Mabry, who doesn't make contact. So 1 for 38 with 1 ball remaining here in the innings. It's Hayden to Mabry. Oh, this one stays low, and he's knocked him over. So they do end the innings on a high here, the Saggy Greens. Hayden gets the wicket with the final ball of the innings. The Greens keep taking over under 40 as this one basically rolls, and the crowd favourite gets one to end with. So an impressive showing with the bat here from taking over has propelled them to a total of 2 for 38 after their 20 deliveries. Gardner top scoring with 18, ably supported by his skipper Mickey Mabry, who made 17. De Boer and Hayden picking up a wicket each, and the Saggy Greens are going to have to produce one of their famous run chasers to get home in this one. 39 to get. And rightfully it will be the skipper, Tom Doy, who will get this run chase underway for the Saggy Greens. He is their best hope of getting them anywhere near this target, and you get the feeling that as long as he's at the crease, they're a chance. So 39 to get for the Saggy Greens for a spot in the quarterfinals. It's going to be TJ English into Doy first up. Here he's in now, this one's a good length delivery, and this hits Tom Doy on the legs, and it's fielded by Mickey Mabry there for no run. So a dot to begin with here for taking over. Tom Doy will just be looking to size this up. Well, he's in now once again, TJ English. And it's a wild swipe across the line there from the Saggy Green skipper, who doesn't make contact. So 2 dot balls to begin the run chase here for the Greens, as English is in once again to Doy. And this one's played off the fence on. I think this goes all the way. Yeah, it has. It's gone all the way for 6. So that's a much needed maximum here for the Saggy Greens. As Doy gets his account underway, he's going to need a few more of them. So a big battle brewing here at the WCG, as English is in once again to Doy, and Doy plays his away on the leg side. He's going to move through for a single as he gets there comfortably in the end. So the Saggy Greens no wicket for 7 here in the opening over, requiring a further 32 off 16 deliveries, so they need 2 a ball here, and Doy's going to have to get going. Here we know he's more than capable, as we've seen it time and time again here at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash, and it all hinges on the skipper. As English is in once again to Doy, and he gets a thick inside edge onto his thigh, and it's fielded by Mickey Mabry there to end with. No wicket for 7 after 1. It'll be Aaron Gardner who will bowl the second over here in this run chase. Here he's in now, and he begins with a wild delivery. It's a headhunter to Tom Doy, so that one will have to be re-bowled. So the Saggy Greens no wicket for 8, requiring a further 31 off 15 deliveries. As Gardner is in once again to Doy, and he gets a top edge, and it goes over the fence. That's a massive moment here in match 11. Tom Doy goes for 7, and with him have the Saggy Greens' hopes disintegrated. He's played across the line, he gets a top edge, and it sails over the fence. 1 for 8. Well, taking over have just taken a giant leap towards the quarterfinals, as that wicket now brings Troy Hayden to the crease at number 2. He's not renowned with the blade, but he might just have to get a score here. So it's Gardner who's going to go around the wicket now to Troy Hayden for his first delivery. Here he's in now, it's a good delivery, and Hayden has nicked it through to the keeper. First delivery. It's 2 and 2 deliveries for taking over, and they take a giant leap towards the quarterfinals. Hayden goes for a golden duck. The Greens 2 for 8. Here the Saggy Greens' hopes are hanging by a thread, as that wicket now brings Reece de Boer to the crease. The last hope for the Saggy Greens. He is going to have to get a score here, otherwise they are done. So can Gardner become the first man to take a T20 hat-trick? As in now to De Boer. Oh, and he's missed it by an absolute whisker. That cannot have missed the off stump by much, and he was that close, Gardner, to history. And taking over with that close to the quarterfinals. Here is Gardner, will continue again now to De Boer. De Boer plays his way on the offside, but it's fielded by Michael Mabry at cover for no run. So the Saggy Greens in trouble here in match 11. 2 for 8 as we arrive at the final delivery of the second over. Here's Gardner. He's in around the wicket to De Boer. He plays away on the offside. He's going to set through for a single on a direct hit, and taking over in the quarterfinals. Here it was all or nothing risky cricket there from Reece de Boer. It's a good bit of fielding from Mabry, who turns and throws. Oh, and he hasn't missed by much. So the Saggy Greens have some work to do here in match 11. If they're to prevent taking over from qualifying for a maiden quarterfinal, they require 30 of 10 deliveries, so they need boundaries, and they need them fast. It'll be the skipper, Michael Mabry, to bowl the third over of the innings. As in now round the wicket to De Boer, and it's a full toss. He's played this away on the offside for a boundary. So that's a good start to the back end of the innings. They're going to need a few more of them. It's not a great start with the ball, and it's been dispatched. Mabry decides to go back over the wicket. Here he's in now to De Boer. This one's a good delivery, a good quick delivery outside off stump, and it's a swing and a miss here from De Boer. So it's 26 to get from 8 deliveries. Things getting desperate here for De Boer and the Saggy Greens, who need to find the boundary regularly here. As Maybury goes back around the wicket, and this one's hit over the fence, is it? It is! Height might be an issue here. Yeah, it has. It's been given a no ball. So the match continues. The Saggy Greens are alive just as we have a look at the replay. Yeah, it's the correct call. That is way above waist height. It's a reprieve for De Boer. The Saggy Greens 2 for 14 in the third over. As Maybury's in once again to De Boer, and he plays this one off the fence. He's going to take TJ English on, who's shy at the stumps, hits him in the back, and he moves through for a single. Yeah, that's not going to be enough for the Saggy Greens, who need a further 24 of 7 deliveries. As Maybury's in once again to De Boer, and this one's a flash outside the off stump. Oh, and I think he's got away with this one. Oh, touch and go call there, which goes the Fluoro's way. Here's Maybury will continue again now to De Boer. Oh, and there won't be any escaping this one. That one is definitely a wide, and that'll definitely have to be re-bowled. So it's 23 to get from 6 deliveries. You get the feeling this has to go to the boundary, as Maybury's in for the final ball of the over, and it's a dot ball to end with. So the Saggy Greens need a miracle. 23 to get from the final 5 deliveries, as it'll be Aaron Gardner to bowl the final over of the innings, and this one hits De Boer on the foot, and he makes a late decision to go for a leg bye, and again he is pinned by TJ English. But that's as good as gold there for the Fluoros, who take another giant step towards a quarter-final berth. 22 to get from 4 deliveries. Gardner into De Boer, and this one's a good delivery. It's a fast Yorker, bang on the money, and it goes through to the keeper for a priceless dot. So they're just about there taking over. They're going to qualify for the quarterfinals at their first ever tournament. As Gardner is in once again to De Boer, and he gets his way on the offside for a boundary. It's a good shot there from De Boer, but it might be too little too late as he moves along to double figures. 18 to get from 2 deliveries. Here is Aaron Gardner is in now to De Boer, who hammers this through mid-wicket for a maximum. So he's ending this match on a high, but it's not going to be enough for the Saggy Greens, and taking over a 1 ball away. So we arrive at the final delivery of this contest, barring a wide or a no ball. It isn't, it's a dot ball, and taking over at their first attempt are through to the quarterfinals. They have defeated the Saggy Greens here by 11 runs in match 11 to qualify for the quarterfinals. So the Saggy Greens, who are going backwards at the Australia Day T20 Big Bash, have been defeated here in match 11. It's taking over who get the chocolates in this do or die clash, as they win by 11 runs to qualify for the quarterfinals. Gardner in a man of the match performance, standing up with both bat and ball to get the Fluoros home, and they will join the Puffin Billies in the final 8. As we take a look at the final makeup of Group C, it is the Puffin Billies who will finish in top spot with a 100% record. It is taking over who seals second place in Group C to qualify for their maiden quarterfinal, and it is the Saggy Greens who finish bottom of the group for the first time in 3 years. So as we look ahead to the next match of the tournament, it is the final match of the group stages. This is also a winner-takes-all clash, but with both already qualified, it is top spot up for grabs. Smack My Pitch Up taking on the 6 offenders to finish this off in Group D, and it's coming up next.